Okay, we are recording. We are within the episode, my man.
Nice. How are things going? It's been a while.
It's going good. It's going good. It has actually. I don't think it's been about a month since I think we recorded.
I think that's about right because that's about how long I've been at the new job.
Right. I'm really gonna have to ask you to quit that bad boy if you don't. No, I'm just kidding with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, actually, Clint was actually able to record with me on Sunday, so we could.
I saw that. I think yesterday morning. I didn't get a chance to listen yet.
Yeah, because it was one of the things like where I had a chance to sit and like kind of catch up with them through like Messenger. And I was asking him if when he wanted to come back on the show, and he was telling me like his work, like his schedule, because he does all the Twitch videos and stuff now.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking to myself like, okay, so we're about like 10 weeks into the new year, which blows my mind that we're pretty close to mid-March already.
Right.
And I was like, well, we only got like 2 episodes out into this freaking show, and now we're kind of falling behind on like the 50 episode season to be done by the end of the year. So I was like, well, fuck it. If I could get Clint on to, record a show, and, me and Joe could get together this week, we kind of like slowly start building our way back up. And I kept thinking to myself, like, well, if I get Clint on Sunday and I get a hold of Sophie for Monday and I can record with Joe on Tuesday, I'll just release fucking 3 shows within the next week and a half.
Nice.
And they'll kind of build us up closer. Well, I couldn't get a hold of Sophie because it's Sophie. It's like, right, she's just so nothing against her. She's just so fucking busy.
Right.
Last time she was on, it took us, nearly 2 years just to get that to happen. So,
God, it didn't it? Oh my.
Yeah. God. So I know she's interested in it. She did respond back to my email asking her to come on. So I know she's interested. I just got to figure out when she'd come back on. Just so we kind of like build these up and everything. And I know Sarge listens to our show all the time. And he always, whenever we go a couple weeks without a show, he always messages me. He's like, hey bud, everything okay with the show? He's my fucking keeper.
Right.
Yeah, so Sarge, if you're listening to this, wondering like, how come we're not putting out so many shows? That's my answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5 years, sometimes you just, procrastinate a little bit, but we always kind of catch up and do our own little things and stuff. But I did extend an offer out to Clint because he actually hasn't done his podcast Geek Dig in about a year.
Oh dang, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he's been focusing a lot on Twitch, which if you guys, remember listening to the last episode, go to twitch.com/VengefulJedi, find him, like his videos and kind of check them out because he does a lot of cool things over there too. I told him that if he ever gets the show started up again, that he's more than welcome to come join Freakin Studios.
Ooh, so, yeah, nice.
Yeah, because I want to get a gaming show onto the podcast because we do talk about games from time to time, but I don't consider us like a gaming show.
No, it's not our main focus by any means.
Yeah,
I'm not even sure we have a main focus other than just like whatever's going on in our lives.
Exactly, and I after restructure and reformat like what the show is, it's more based on. Oh, it's like it says, it's a little bit of something, a whole lot of nothing, it's not, we don't even call it a weekly podcast. We still have to make that list of what the alternative to weekly podcast is in those sayings, but yeah, we don't, I don't consider us like a gaming podcast, a movie podcast, a music podcast, a current event podcast, because we kind of deal with all of it, whatever kind of comes to mind or pops up or, is out there. I did talk to Clint a little bit about WandaVision, but I want to get your input on it because I don't think we ever had a chance to talk about it. Have you had a chance to, check that out?
I did finally binge the whole thing on Saturday.
Yeah, I got, how many episodes came out? 6?
I think it's 8. I'm not 100% sure.
So I couldn't remember, and I was going to go back and watch it. I may watch it tonight when we're done recording, but I think I'm either halfway through or just one episode over halfway.
Nice.
I'm at whatever episode where the daughter of that fighter pilot woman.
Okay.
where she's planning on going back in. So whatever episode that is. So it could be 5, but I want to say it might be 4. I'm not quite sure. I do want to say 5 though, because I know like the first 2 episodes were almost like I'm not going to watch this bullshit because it literally seems like an old sitcom thing.
That's
but then when
we can talk about it in a second. But yeah, go on.
So I was like, I don't really want to watch it. This is what it is. But when you get farther into it, realizing why it is the way it is, then you kind of draw into it. It's like Clint said, get past the first 2 episodes and then you'll realize what the show really is. The first 2 episodes, it doesn't tell you exactly what's going on. It's like that 3rd episode that you really kind of draw into it.
Yeah. I watched the first episode the day the show came out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started the 2nd episode because they dropped episodes 1 and 2 at the same time.
Okay.
And I made it about 5 minutes into episode 2 and I was like, I don't think this show is for me. So I stopped watching it for like, pretty much until the season finale came out. And then the people on the internet were talking about it so much and somehow I hadn't seen a single spoiler. And I thought, I better just go watch it.
Yeah.
I just forced myself through this 1 episode and then maybe it'll get good. And it did. And it was like I couldn't stop watching it once I got to episode 3. But yeah, those first 2 episodes, they should have done what like every major TV show has done the last few years and just made the pilot episode 1 double episode instead of 2 separate episodes.
I agree. I think, and I believe that's what a lot of people are kind of like going into it thinking like, shit, is this it?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I know like when I was doing it, I thought it was, and I don't care if we say anything that spoils it. It's like I told Clint, you can talk about anything you want. You're not going to spoil it for me. I'm going to watch it regardless.
Right.
But when I heard about WandaVision, what the plan was and what they're doing, I was under the impression that it was going to take place between was it Civil War and Infinity Wars. That's when I thought it was going to happen. Between the time where they're all in like hiding out and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And going into it, up until you realize what's going on, was my mindset. Okay, this is when, Captain America breaks everyone out of the prison. Everyone's like on the run and everything. And, this is everything that's happening before Infinity Wars because Vision's here.
Right.
Vision isn't dead. We saw what happened in Infinity Wars and shit like that. But then when you get into, I think it was episode 4 or whatever, you realize what's going on and who's behind it. And I think that's pretty cool. And I'm going to say this a lot. This is what Clint said because I'm not going to take credit for any of these thoughts and ideas because I didn't have them. He did. But it shows you how much her powers have grown throughout this series, going from all the way back to Ultron, the Age of Ultron, when, she was, learning how to do her powers and manipulating people's minds and all this other stuff, how far that came to being able to mind control an entire fucking like neighborhood, town, or whatever you would consider their area to be.
Yeah, not only that, she effectively wipes them off the map to where other people can't get into town.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, with that barrier?
Yeah, with that barrier.
Yeah.
And obviously you can cross the barrier, but like,
Yeah. Well, it's like, it was like at the end of one of the episodes when they walk outside from hearing noise and seeing, some beekeeper or whatever coming, or well, it wasn't even a beekeeper. Like when people come into the neighborhood, they turn into something else. I mean, it showed with the drone turned into a helicopter. Mm-hmm. And the guy who was in, I'm going to assume it was like the nuclear blast suit or the bomber suit or whatever, ended up turning into a beekeeper when he came out of the drain or even walking through the drains.
Yeah.
And like Wanda just looks at him and says like no or something like that, and it just kind of like rewinds.
Oh.
Say that again?
She like disappears him. I mean, she rewinds it. Where does he go? Does she erase him from history? Is he kicked out of space? Does he get a role as one of the townspeople now?
Yeah.
I actually don't think the series ever answers that question.
Well, yeah, and one of the things like I kind of I wanna hope for and go and finishing it up. I think I am gonna finish it up tonight. I don't gotta work till tomorrow night anyway, so I'm gonna be up until 2, 3 in the morning. So, I'm hoping one of the questions and answers like that termination on. Is she supposed to be the villain, or is she just somebody who wants to have her happiness, and her happiness is having vision? Another thing I'm curious about is, the twins they have. Because obviously in my mind, a machine can't impregnate a human being. So are these twins just images, that
right.
are just
Well,
there
like, so, I mean, they go out of their way in those first couple episodes to point out that even like eating a piece of gum makes him not function properly.
Yeah.
So yeah, where do the twins come from? That's a really good. I don't even think I bothered to ask that question because like I know enough of the comic book lore that I'm just like, oh yeah, they have twins. I don't know how it happens. I just know it's part of the comic book story, and so I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, well, see, and I know nothing about the comics, so everything I'm watching is what I know, and all I think about is she does one episode where she gives birth to twins, which she got impregnated by a machine, which I don't know if the machine has the ability to produce semen to impregnate her, but somehow it did. Having gone through an entire pregnancy in 2-3 hours?
Yeah, something
just
like that.
Just to give birth to babies who end up being, preteens, one episode later.
Yeah.
Now I do like.
I like how weird it is. That's weird.
Yeah, I think it's goofy. I just want those things to be answered just so they could, just so I need to have logic somewhere. Like, not the exact logic. I don't need every detail explained to me, but just like I just want to know if the kids are real. I just want to know if they're just like, images imprinted in the entire neighborhood's mind. It's imprinted in Vision's mind. Like, are they physically there? Or what are they? Because, I mean, I don't think it's like, somebody else's kids that are playing a role, in it. I mean, it'd be messed up if it is because then, what happens to the twin babies. But, I mean, you saw them grow. Right. Just by her saying something about, like, I think, like, there was a scene where they wanted a dog and she said, like, you have a dog when you're older and all of a sudden they grow up, like, right in front of their eyes.
How old do we have to be? I don't know, 10?
Yeah. Perfect. And then they become 10 years old. So now, are they mechanical? Are those also machines like Vision, or are they half machines? And if so, how did they grow the human part so quickly? I just need simple, like, well, this is what they are and this is what's going on. And I'd be like, okay, cool, because it's those things that bother me. Now, I do like that Disney puts them out weekly and not just lumps them out in one day.
Yeah. I like that too. Although, excuse me. I did wait and watch them all when they came out, but I did like the idea. It was fun, even though I wasn't participating in the conversation and I was more or less staying out of it. Yeah. It was fun to watch the excitement build every week and like see people. I mean, when was the last time that we had like fan theories for something? I mean, like The Mandalorian's too straightforward. There's not a lot of speculation.
Yeah.
So Lost? I mean,
it's hard, because there's not a lot of shows out there that people get drawn into like that. I know a lot of people did that for Walking Dead.
Oh yeah.
Like they throw out those previews of everything where it says like, and so and so dies, but they don't tell you the name, so you have to be drawn in to watch it to find out which one of the main characters. I think Game of Thrones was pretty similar to that concept too.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't watch a lot of those kind of shows. I mean, I watch more of like, comedies that like, they don't leave cliffhangers at the end of the show, except for like, once in a while, maybe like a goofy proposal, you don't know who's going to answer it. But I know like, it's like with Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, I've never seen The Mandalorian, but, even Sons of Anarchy, main characters have the potential to die. And I think as much as people hate those, I think those would draw people back into an episode to watch. Like, there's no way they're going to kill off, Opie. There's no way they're going to kill off, whoever from Game of Thrones and shit. But they do.
Right.
It's the element of surprise and the unexpected possibilities that draw people back into episodes.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what kind of WandaVision did when they turned out like, well, who's doing it? It's like the the FBI agent, and it sounds weird because there is a way I want to describe the dude, but the way everything is going on nowadays, it sounds offensive. So it's how to fuck it. Fuck it. So the Asian agent.
Yeah.
Sorry for those who are offended by the way I describe it, but the culture that I've been watching for the past week, you can't say shit like that, but no other way to explain it. He got into that radio, was able to radio into the subdivision, that community. I kept saying, like, Wanda, who's doing this to you? Because in their mind, it's a villain doing this. Well, then when it ends up being Wanda, now all of a sudden she's the bad guy. And you just kind of see where, the only reason she's doing it is because she wants to have her happy ever after.
Right.
So, but I'm excited to see more of it. I did see where she kind of, the last episode I saw was where she expanded the boundary. That's the last episode I was on.
Oh, dang. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. So when Vision broke through the barrier.
Yeah.
And she expanded the boundary so he would, like, survive and shit. Right. That's the last episode I saw. So I think that was 4 or 5. I can't remember.
I think
maybe 5.
So it would be the Halloween episode, so I think it might even be 6.
Oh, okay. So I'm not that far behind.
Oh.
So there's got to be a definite huge cliffhanger at the end of the season then.
There is and there isn't. It's tough to. I don't want to spoil it. Not that there's not much to spoil, but it I think draws things to a close in a way that is satisfactory. Yeah. While also leaving a lot of possibilities on the table for future movies, for future shows, for future seasons, if that's what they want to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know when Clint was talking about it, he was kind of disappointed in the fact that there was, like, some kind of, like, preview or something like that showed, like, Doctor Strange showing up in it. That apparently never happened.
Oh, no kidding? I missed it.
Yeah, and I was telling him, like, well, I mean, I think that could have been more related to the Doctor Strange movie that's coming up because I heard Scarlet Witch is supposed to be in that. Yeah. So now I'm curious to know if, WandaVision, Falcon, and Winter Soldier, Loki, all those, like, Disney Plus shows, are those also going to get wrapped into the MCU, kind of like how S.H.I.E.L.D. was a little bit?
Yeah.
And everything. And if so, like, where do they go from the WandaVision now into the next episode or the next movie of the Phase? Because I know Black Widow's coming out in May, but that was like after, that was supposed to be like after Winter Soldier or something. That's when that was supposed to be based off, I think. May of
they moved it a whole year, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Because it was supposed to be in May of last year, then they moved it to November, and then it was supposed to be in January, and now it's in May again.
Oh, jeez. I lost track.
Yeah, well, there's supposed to be like 4 Marvel movies coming out this year.
Oh my god.
I think so. I'm gonna look it up. I think it's supposed to be Black Widow.
How are people supposed to afford 4 Marvel movies this year when they're not even giving us the $2,000 checks they promised?
Yeah. Are we not getting those $1,400?
No, we're getting the $1,400, but
they
they said $2,000 right out the door. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, they did technically give us $600 a few months ago, so they probably just did that.
Yeah. No, I know. That's what they're saying. I think it's silly though. But anyway.
It's so much money. All right, so 2021 is going to have Black Widow, Shang-Chi and the Legends of the Ten Rings.
Oh, that's right.
So I don't know anything about that, so that'll be cool to see. Eternals, which I don't remember anything about that. I do remember hearing about, but I know nothing about the backstory of that.
Got it.
And then Spider-Man No Way Home is the 4th one.
Dang, we're not going to get Doctor Strange this year.
March of 2022.
Damn.
So in 2022, we're going to get Doctor Strange, Thor, and Black Panther 2. Oh, and Captain Marvel 2. So we're getting 4 next year as well. Nope, sorry, 5 next year. Ant-Man and Wasp next year as well.
Wow.
So we're getting 5 Marvel movies next year, March, May, July, November, and then 2022 for Wasp and Ant-Man, but there's no release date on it yet.
Good Lord.
And then Guardians 3 is coming out in 23, and then Fantastic Four is to be announced.
Wow.
Yeah. But, geez, so many. Where's the actual TV shows Okay, I guess those are not listed in the MCU. Anyways, Frigga. What the fuck is Frigga?
Mm-hmm.
Fictional character appearing in American comic published by Marvel. Character appears in particulars in those, I don't fucking know. Thor. Is that his mom?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm used to the other spelling that's like Freya.
Oh, maybe the GG is a different pronunciation, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. I'm used to like F-R-E. Oh, there it is. Y-J-A.
Oh, yeah. This is Frigga.
Yeah.
Frigga. Happy Hogan. Perfect. I heard he pulled out of Mandalorian or some shit, right?
I don't know.
John Fariva pulled out of working with Lucasfilms or something.
Oh, I didn't know about that. That's wild. I didn't even know he was part of it, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought I heard something about him pulling out of something. I don't know. I've never seen Mandalorian, but the only things I know about it is like the outside shit of it, like with that woman who got fired from it because of her social media post, and then I thought there was something with this guy, like like quitting or pulling out of it or something like that, but I could just be getting two different things mixed up in it. Then
I have no idea. Maybe.
Yeah.
He's doing a separate show too, I think. A Boba Fett series.
Which one's is that the Hitman guy?
Yeah, that's the other guy that he's actually the Mandalorian that we all thought the Mandalorian show was going to be about.
Gotcha.
It wasn't.
Yeah, so March of 18, Lucasfilms announced that how do you pronounce his last name? Favreau?
Mm-hmm.
Would executive produce and write a live-action Star Wars television series titled The Mandalorian. The series premiered 2019 along the streaming service and was co-produced by Favreau's production company Gollum Creations. So I guess he's still part of it. So
yeah.
Also, I didn't know that Bill Burr was part of The Mandalorian.
He is. He's really good in it too.
Yeah. Now, The Mandalorian, that's all serious. So is Bill Burr in a serious role?
Yeah. I mean, there's some humor to it, but yeah, it's a serious role.
Okay. I'm gonna have to watch one of those. I thought about when I was talking to Clint about the Star Wars and the idea of me actually watching all the series and shit, or all the episodes and movies and whatever, and how I was able to get through like the first three, like episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, and I got like 5 minutes into episode like 4 and quit because it was garbage.
Yeah.
And I just gave up, and he was telling me how 4, 5, and 6 were the best ones. I was like, I doubt it. They don't have Darth Maul, so if you don't got Darth Maul, you're not worth it. But I thought about, maybe I'll just fucking take some time out and maybe I'll fucking live stream myself watching it, and I'll just give my right then and there in person, what I feel as I do it. I don't know who'd watch it, but even if I cut it down to like a 5-10 minute video and I throw it up on our YouTube page and stuff like that, because it's always fun to kind of get like those like in person right then and there perspectives on videos. Yeah, because I also gave him my list of top 5 worst fucking movies ever. And I don't remember honestly I can't remember what I put on there, because I know I was just doing it to piss him off, but I mean it was a real fucking list. It was like Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, anything with Monty Python in it, Princess Brides, and I can't remember the fucking other ones, but it was all those fucking like cult classic nerd fucking movies. And he was talking about, Young Frankenstein was also on that list. That's a stupid fucking movie too.
I haven't seen Young Frankenstein.
The only thing I think good about it is that the guy who played Willy Wonka was in it, Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I try to watch movies like that and I can't fucking do it. That Monty Python, the Holy Grail, I just can't do it.
Yeah, the first time I watched that movie, I did not get it at all. I was in high school and I was going over to a friend's house, and her dad was like, you got to watch this movie. It's like the greatest movie of all time. And I watched it and I was like, yeah, that was awesome, Greg. You know, like I don't know. I did not understand. Like it made no sense to me. It really wasn't that funny. Like the parts that I had already seen on YouTube, it was like, oh yeah, the knight whose arms get chopped off. Yeah, that guy. Oh, the guy who got turned into a newt, but he got better. Sure. It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's my tastes have changed.
Well, it's just there's a certain category of humorous movies that those fall into.
Yeah.
Spaceballs was also on my list of stupid movies.
Oh, I love Spaceballs. It's stupid. You're right. It is an absolutely stupid movie.
It's like one of the things. It's like I told Clint, like, listen, like just because I hate it and I think it's a shitty movie doesn't mean that it's truly a shitty movie. It's just a perspective thing, you know. People think, you know, Expendables are horrible fucking movies, but I happen to like them because they're action movies with old action stars and shit. You know, that's why I like them. You know, it's not about the acting, but it's about the action of watching, you know, Sylvester Stallone or, you know, fucking Chuck Norris, Jason Statham, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger, fucking even Harrison Ford. You're just going in and being badasses. Bruce Willis, you know, that's what makes them good movies to me. You know, plotline, whatever.
That's what I really like about Spaceballs is it's Mel Brooks's commentary on how stupid Star Wars is. That's really what those movies are about is how dumb George Lucas is for making those movies.
I do like, and correct me if this wasn't what it was supposed to be, but the fact that, you know, John Candy played a large dog, I'm going to only assume was a joke on fucking Chewbacca.
Absolutely. And his name is Barf.
It shows, I mean, to be, okay, so that's funny. But
Yeah.
I love, not John Candy, John Candy.
Yeah, I also love Rick Moranis as Dark Helmet.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Dark Helmet. Oh, God.
I've seen thoughts as big as mine. Oh, God.
Joey, I want to dive into chapter 2 here of the Phantom Tollbooth. Did you get a chance to read it?
I did. That's why I was late to the show. I was finishing it up.
Awesome. I want to talk about that. I want to dive into that. But before we do, I think we got to do our due diligence and remind everyone that this episode of This Freakin' Show is brought to you by Audible.com. Guys, we are doing the F in Book Club. That's the Freakin' Out Book Club for you dirty minders who think it's anything else. We're doing the Phantom Tollbooth. We are taking a book. We're going to read a chapter, an episode, and discuss it as we're about to here in a little bit, as we did a couple episodes ago. If you would like to join along with us and participate in the book club, you can pick up your book at audible.com. But if you want to get that book absolutely free with a credit plus a 30-day free trial of Audible, go to audibletrial.com/freaknet. And using that link will give you 30 days absolutely free of Audible, plus a credit to your first book purchase. So if you want to be part of the book club, use that credit to pick up the Phantom Tollbooth. If you want to pick up any other book, that's totally fine. You don't have to be part of the book club. Just enjoy it as we read through it, but pick up your own. Again, absolutely free because you do get a credit to it. audibletrial.com/freaknet. Sign up today. Get the 30-day free trial plus a credit to whatever book you decide you want to get to. I did see something online that said Rainn Wilson did an audio version of the Phantom Tollbooth. So I do kind of want to find that one because I would love to hear Dwight read Phantom Tollbooth. But yeah, again, audibletrial.com/freaknet. Sign up today, 30-day free trial plus a credit to your first book.
Nice. This Freakin' Show is also brought to you by ballwash.com. If you are looking for the perfect soap, the perfect lotion, the perfect everyday colonia for your Garden of Eden. We've all been home for a year now. Not been showering frequently. Certainly not as often as they should. Some of us are maybe giving our balls too much attention in the wrong way. Well, if you'd like to give yourself attention in the right way, head over to ballwash.com and use the discount code FreakNet to get, 15% off your order and free shipping?
Just 15% off.
All right, just 15% off. No free shipping for you, you bastards.
Yeah, I do believe you could get free shipping if you spend so much, but that I'm not 100% sure. But I do know they do get at least 15% off their entire order, which if you spend enough, it covers the cost of shipping itself.
That's right. But they've got some great stuff. It smells good, I'm told. It goes on wet. It dries as a powder.
That is the ball guard that I happen to use myself for being because I work outside and everything. With the weather being a lot warmer, you end up with swamp ass.
I should get myself some of that. When I'm walking around the hospital all day in the sweatpants that they call scrubs, it gets chafy.
Yeah, this works.
That's actually the inside of my thighs look like that weak-spined Democrat who ran a few years ago, Lincoln Chafee. That's what my nutsack looks like at the end of the day. It's like that old bastard's face.
Ball guard will be the best thing for you, man. It literally rubs on like a lotion, so you know exactly every place you're putting it. You wait 30 seconds, it dries just like a powder. And you know what? For me, it lasts all day. And I'm a big dude. Like, I am a walkie-talkie billboard for non-thigh gaps.
Nice.
And I tell you, man, it's awesome. I just slather it all over there like anyways, but it works, and I absolutely love it. I use their body scrub. I use their shampoo, their conditioners. They have different scents for their body washes and shampoos, and their manly scents. You know, I have an orange one that almost smells like that orange sandy like soap that mechanics would use.
Yeah, goop.
Yeah, kind of like that. It's kind of like that, but a nicer smell. It has more of a robust smell to it, and it's just amazing. They also, they have their own line of boxers and stuff, and even traveler packs and everything. So when you guys are on the go, and Joe, whenever you take a vacation with the missus and she's packing everything up, she truly could have your balls in her bag.
Perfect. Well, there you have it, listeners. I mean, from the horse's mouth. Mm-hmm. This is the real deal. So head over to ballwash.com, use the discount code FreakNet, get 15% off your order, help us out, help yourself out, and I still haven't figured out a good catchphrase.
Yeah, I know. Like and honestly, I've been thinking about it for myself, and I keep going through like all of them, like head to toe, hole to pole. Right. When it comes to your wiener, nothing gets a cleaner. When it comes to your sex, got your back.
Dick, that doesn't feel right.
Wait, what'd you say?
Get that shit off of your dick. That sounds wrong.
Oh God, does anything good rhyme with pecker?
No, I can't think of anything.
No, I think checker, but this is a pervert.
Yeah.
So, taint.
Get the taint out of your taint.
Get
homophone, Joe.
Homophone. Goddamn. We'll think of something. Something will pop up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get the pooch out your gooch.
The pooch?
Yeah, like, I don't know. I was just like a dog smell. I don't know. That's not what that word means, but word association sometimes. You just...
Oh, God.
I'm very tired. I usually go to bed at 9 nowadays.
Yeah. Isn't there a word like grundle? Isn't that part of it? Isn't that like describes something down there?
I think so. Well, I think it's like I don't know. I think it's like a type of underwear.
I want to look it up real quick. I hope I don't die anytime soon because I hate my search history to show grundle.
No, right?
Grundle is
another word for your gooch or your taint.
Oh God! So you can say something like, "If you want to clean that grundle, get that ball wash bundle."
Yeah.
There we go.
Gotta write that one down.
Yeah, keep that for later because they do sell gift boxes and packs and stuff like that too. So you can buy the shampoo, conditioner, body wash, nut rubs and stuff in a pack. So
Nice.
there we go. I got you one there, man.
Russian grundle with a ball wash bundle.
Yeah.
Go. Perfect. That's much less vulgar than where my mind's been going. So I'm happy about it.
Oh, my God. Wait, so there's another term for Chad?
What?
Grundle is another word for Chad.
Oh,
The region between the balls and the arsehole can be an enormous zone for some. Girl, oh God, I'm not gonna read that. Ill. He had a shitty Chad. When you measure your dick, you don't start at the arsehole and include the Chad. God damn, a fucking Urban Dictionary does it again.
I've never called it a Chad before.
No, taint, gooch, grundle.
Perineum?
Nope.
Yeah,
I can't do that. That's too classy for me. But let's dive into Phantom Tollboth, man.
Let's talk about a children's book.
Yeah, let's get away. Let's get away from our scrotums.
Let's shift gears to a story about a 10-year-old boy.
Oh God. Okay, chapter 2, Beyond Expectations. So just to recap from chapter 1. Milo's a young boy who's just bored with the world, needs something adventurous, something new. He gets home and finds this package, this big box sitting there in his house. Opens it up. It turns out to be this little toll booth. Puts it together. Hops in his little toy car. Drives through the toll booth and ends up in this strange and new world. And he is on his way to, I believe, Dictionopolis.
Yep.
In order to do that, he has to go through, I believe, if I can look at the map here real quick, he has to go through expectations. So,
yes.
Milo drives through, he gets to the sign saying welcome expectations, kind of admiring the scenery, looking behind him as if, he's going to see the toll booth and everything. Obviously, that's all gone. Driving down the road, sees the sign for expectations, honks the horn. And this little, now in my book, like I said, does have pictures and images and stuff. So for me, it gives me an image of who these people are. So he comes across the weatherman.
Yep. He's a little line drawing of Awkward Colin.
this dude is
a large lollipop in the air. Although if you read the story, it's balloons.
Yeah, to me, he looks like Awkward Colin if he was like a friar.
Yes.
Friar Ock. Friar Ock, perfect. So he's talking to the weatherman and everything. Obviously, it turned out it's not weather like, snow and rain and stuff like that, but the other type of weather.
Right. WHETHER.
Mm-hmm. Milo's asking him if this is the way to Dictionopolis. The guy says he's not quite sure, but there is no wrong way to Dictionopolis. But if this was the wrong way, it's the right way to somewhere else. Anywho, Joe, why don't you pick it up from there? I believe he, what was the next place he went to?
He starts traveling, and as he's going along, he begins to daydream, as we learned in chapter 1 he's wont to do. Mm-hmm. And because he's lost in his daydream, he doesn't see the sign for Dictionopolis as he comes to a fork in the road. And he ends up driving into the doldrums. And in the doldrums, the people, what are they called? The Letharagians?
You know what? I did, I noted it right here. They're called the Letharagarians.
Yeah, Letharagarians, that's it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden he's made aware of these little people who are, they're small enough that dozens of them are on his car, there's several of them on his shoulder, they're all over the road, and, they're very sleepy people. And they blend in with everything around them, and, he's very curious.
Lethargic. Okay.
Yeah.
God damn it. Oh, I should have known that. Yeah. So yeah, and they also they kind of have like a chameleon aspect to them. They kind of like form into the color of the thing they're laying on.
Yeah.
Because I think one was on his shoulder. He didn't realize it.
Right. Yeah, that's why one of the reasons he doesn't realize that they're there is because they're nearly invisible because they blend in with the surroundings.
Yep.
And as he's discovering them, he's kind of like, where am I? Why am I here? How do I get to Dictionopolis? And they're like, "Well, slow down. You're asking too many questions. The doldrums are like Florida. We don't ask questions here."
Yeah, technically, him asking or thinking is against the law.
Yeah. Also laughing, and they're very silly people. It's difficult not to laugh.
Yeah, I do love the schedule that they give him about
Yes.
like what they do on a daily basis because
it's a great quarantine schedule.
Yeah, it's where I want to be in the doldrums.
Yeah.
Because the fact that between 9:30 and 10:30 they dawdle and delay, I mean that's my life.
I'd love to read the schedule if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
So at 8 o'clock we get up, and then we spend from 8 to 9 daydreaming. From 9 to 9:30 we take our early mid-morning nap. From 9:30 to 10:30 we dawdle and delay. From 10:30 to 11:30 we take our late early morning nap. From 11:30 to noon we bide our time and then eat lunch. From 1 to 2 we linger and loiter. From 2 to 2:30 we take our early afternoon nap. From 2:30 to 3:30 we put off for tomorrow what we could have done today. From 3:30 to 4 o'clock we take our early late afternoon nap. From 4 to 5 we loaf and lounge until dinner. From 6 to 7 we dilly-dally. From 7 to 8 we take our early evening nap. And then for an hour before we go to bed at 9 we waste time.
All right. So the one thing that I do want to question about their schedule, they say between 4 and 5 they loaf and lounge until dinner, but there's nothing in there about when they eat dinner.
Yeah. I think we're supposed to assume that dinner happens between 5 and 6 because 5 and 6 aren't mentioned.
Okay.
Same thing happens at lunch. 11:30 to noon, we bide our time and then eat lunch.
Ooh, but they're skipping breakfast.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah. But yeah, let's see if I can find it real quick because before we go any further, there was one part here. As you can see, that leaves almost no time for brooding, lagging, plotting, or procrastinating. And if we stop to think or laugh, we never get nothing done.
I love that.
So God, this fucking book is amazing. Love this fucking book. But not only are we introduced to the Weatherman, the Lethargarians, but this chapter also introduced us to the Watchdog,
which I was shocked by. Because I expected the Watchdog to show up much later in the story because of the reference in the introduction.
Mm-hmm. I was kind of in the same boat with you. But it's like kind of what you mentioned like in the a couple weeks ago. Like this is like kind of a quick read kind of book.
Yeah.
Every chapter is like 10 pages, if that. And for mine, most of them have pictures on them.
Mm-hmm.
So, Joey, if you got the book in front of you,
I do.
You wanna read the chapter where we're introduced to the Watchdog because that's kind of a pretty cool one too.
Let me.
For me, it would be 28. I don't know if your book's similar to mine, but it would be 28. The small version of like him driving the car and the dog coming up to him. Tell me, he yawned for the. I'll just read it. Is that okay, Joey? If I read it?
I got it. Yeah, you can read it. I also have it.
Okay. Yeah. I just want. I mean, I know the reading's your thing. I don't want to take everything away from. Actually, it's technically Freak Joe's thing. So.
Tell me. I'm ready for a nap now himself. Does everyone here do nothing? Everyone but the terrible Watchdog, said two of them, shuddering in chorus. He's always sniffing around to see that nobody wastes time. A most unpleasant character. The Watchdog? Said Milo quizzically. The Watchdog! Shouted another, fainting from fright, for racing down the road, barking furiously and kicking up a great cloud of dust, was the very dog of whom they had been speaking. Run! Wake up! Run! Here he comes! The Watchdog! Great shouts filled the air as the Lethargarians scattered in all directions and soon disappeared entirely. Exclaimed the Watchdog as he dashed up to the car, loudly puffing and panting. Milo's eyes opened wide, for there in front of him, was a large dog with a perfectly normal head, 4 feet, and a tail, and the body of a loudly ticking alarm clock. "What are you doing here?" growled the watchdog. "Just killing time," replied Milo apologetically. "You see, killing time!" roared the dog so furiously that his alarm went off. "It's bad enough wasting time without killing it." And he shuddered at the thought. "Why are you in the doldrums anyway? Don't you have anywhere to go?"
Okay, Joe.
God.
Yeah, it's and I always forget how the play on words are in this book. It's like everything that we take as a play on words, it's literal in this world, and I fucking love that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so he gets to meet the watchdog, which spoiler, the watchdog's with him through the whole episode or through the whole book. It's pretty obvious, but
Yeah. It felt like that's what was going to happen immediately.
mm-hmm.
He likes car rides. What can you?
Who doesn't though? You know.
Yeah.
So, all right, why don't you go ahead and finish the explanation of chapter 2 for us?
Yeah. So the dog shows up and basically just asks Milo like, what are you doing here? Why are you in the doldrums? And Milo was like, I just wasn't thinking about it. And he's like, "You're damn right you weren't thinking." And Milo was like, "Okay, and the dog just, to get out of here, to get here, you didn't think. So to get out, what do you have to do?" Milo's like, "Oh, I guess I have to think." And so he starts thinking, which is something he claims he's never done before. And he thinks about birds, and he thinks about fish. He thinks about what he had for lunch yesterday and what he's going to have for dinner tomorrow. And he thinks about all the words he can think of that begin with the letter J and numbers that end in 3. And all of a sudden, the wheels on his car start to turn, and he speeds up. The more he thinks, the faster he goes, and eventually he is back on the road to Dictionopolis.
Perfect. Yeah, so I love this book so much. So we got the watchdog now, so I think these are going to be the 2 main characters for the rest of the book. Obviously he's going to meet more people as we go through. Chapter 3 is Welcome to Dictionopolis, so he is getting closer to it. Still liking the book, Joe?
I'm loving it. I love like the subtlety of it. I really love like where is the line here? The many detours and wrong turns that were so easy to take, and how fine it was to be moving along, and most of all, of how much could be accomplished with just a little thought. For a children's book, he's trying to teach you how to think. Yeah. And the importance of thinking. And it seems to be like it's going to be foundational to the story. I just think it's wonderful.
Yeah. Well, and it also shows, at the beginning when he first gets in there, how everything's like bright and colorful, but when he gets into the doldrums, it's kind of like, eh.
Yeah,
and that
fades away.
Yeah, and there's there's no laughter, there's no thinking, and it's trying to get that thought put into your head that when you don't think, when you don't enjoy life and everything, you just become dull, lethargic. Did you just send me a picture of a dude with 2 guitars?
I did. I sent you Darth Brooks.
God damn it.
Sorry. It showed up on Facebook and I had to share it immediately.
We're having a moment, Joe. Darth Brooks. I love that. But yeah, I think that's what the book is, and I think that's what it's going to do going forward, is showing you that when you live a certain way, this is the outcome of it. So when you're a lethargarian, or how to pronounce it, you're gloomy, you're dull, you're lazy, when you don't think and stuff like that, this is the life that you're going to have, and it's like you said, like the book said, it's how you move forward with a single thought.
Yeah.
So, we're going to see him get into Dictionopolis. I am excited to kind of keep moving forward in the book and, getting through chapter 3. And depending on scheduling, we'll be able to find that out next week.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. We're going to cut the show off here just because this particular episode went a a little bit longer than we normally like to do. This kind of branched off into nearly a 2-hour long episode as we dove more into like the cancel culture that we've been seeing over the last couple of weeks. Actually, from what Cartoon Joe has been explained to me, more like months. So, thank you for listening to this part of it, part 1 of this entire episode. Part 2 will be released later on this week, so make sure you check that out as well as we dive into the cancel culture. Just make sure you guys check out the show that's released on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, Verbal, Amazon Music, anywhere where you find your podcast. All you gotta do is search This Freaking Show. More than likely we are located there. And obviously this show is on Facebook, iTunes, and Twitter. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, just by searching This Freaking Show. So we'll talk about what we're freaking thinking and all that next episode, again, here at the end of the week. So as always, I am Travesty, and thank you for listening to another episode of This Freaking Show. I'm out.